In this demo, we'll create a very simple process list and show you how to create tasks, subtasks, and ultimately manage process lists within the system. To create a process list, we need to be on the process list screen, so we'll click through to that from the home screen. To create or edit an existing process list, simply click on the Edit button if you have sufficient permission to do so. When you click on the Edit button, you'll be able to edit the current process list you have selected, as well as create new process lists. By clicking on this Add button, you'll be able to create a new process list. In this case, let's call it Quarterly Update. We'll give it a description. We'll choose to share it with a group of people. Of note, if you create a separate group on our security screen under the Administration tab, it will appear here, and you can share a process list with just the users in that group. In this case, I only have one group, so I'll share it with the admin group, and I'll push OK. You can see my quarterly update process list has been created. My description is here. Now we need to add some tasks. By clicking the Add Task button, we can go ahead and select an icon for a task, give it a description. In this case, we'll call it Review. We can pick a due date, provide a description for that task, select a conversation topic. In this case, let's pick the Optometrics one. It seems the most closely aligned. We've already got our Share With option going here, so we don't have to worry about that. And we can scroll down if we'd like to and decide what we want this task to link to. In this case, it could link to something that's already been established within Concert. We could add a custom link, if there's been one set up in Concert, to a non-IBM technology, or to a document, if we want to do that. So we have a couple of documents we've loaded. We've set up a couple of custom links. But we also have cube views and web sheets from a variety of different models loaded into this demo environment. Let's go ahead and do that. We'll select one of these. In this case, let's pick Go Scorecards. And there are a number of different cubes here. Let's pick the Metrics Cube Financial. And let's save. So now we've created a process list. We've created a task within the process list. We've linked it to something. You can see our sample task descriptions here. You can see the due date reflected, the text that we provided, the icon. It's all showing. We could add many more tasks. So let's go ahead and add one more at this point. Let's have one here called Review Dashboard. We'll make that do a little bit after the review metric, maybe early February. And we'll go ahead and we'll, in this case, have the conversation be dashboard, maybe general discussion. We're sharing with the admins. As we scroll to the bottom here, we can go down and we can pick a BI element and pick one of our BI dashboards. And we can save this. Now we have two tasks here. If we want to group them together, we can drag them, and if we want, we can reorder them, or we can drag them on top of each other to automatically create a group. And in this case, I've got my two metrics here. If I wanted to move one of them out of the group, I could do that as well. But in this case, I'm happy with the metrics being in the group, and I'm going to go ahead, reorder, until I get to where I want to be, and then rename the task group. And I'll call this task group, and I'll give it an icon. Now I've created a group. I've reordered things within that group. Let's drill through to one of these metrics, or one of these screens to review what's happening. We've arrived at our BI dashboard. It looks great. We're on the general discussion topic, which is what we selected for this BI dashboard. Let's create some subtasks. By clicking on the gear icon, I can add some subtasks in. I call this subtask 1, task description. I can save that if I want to. And now you can see there's a subtask that's been created. Let's create one more called subtask 2, and we'll give it a different icon. I'll call it P2 for description 2. And then I can shut off edit mode if I want to. Now I've created a drill through to a BI dashboard subtasks to describe each step, and if I were in a cube view or a web sheet, I could also highlight cells that I wanted to see here. So I created this step-by-step process. If I check off some of these steps, it'll move my workflow closer to completion. And as a user, of course, I can uncheck this as well. Now let me toggle back to my quarterly update. And I'll be able to see my quarterly update process list with my task group and my metrics and my dashboard task, which I can drill through too. If I want to make a change to any of these at any point in time, let's say I don't like the icon I'm using here, I can simply click on Edit Mode, and by clicking on the task, it'll bring up all the information about it for me. Maybe my dashboard, instead I'd rather have something that looks a little more like a board or a target. I can go ahead and do that, and I can save my changes. This has been a brief demo showing how you can create a process list within Concert.